Welcome back to Lost Cub, where, contrary to the photograph, we have had such things as an evening of excitement followed by, thankfully, a pretty mellow night, a day of at least partially indulgent playing in the admittedly temporary, more fluff than effect snow. But uh, but as we get on towards evening, towards the times that Anton knows he might actually get an answer, what you getting up to there, buddy pal friend?
I was after scrolling through, all the information I got off Bill. I will just be sitting there. I will send a text out to Renee.
And you shoot a text out. And yeah, how late are you waiting? Like good full dark?
I'll wait till it's like 7:30 in the evening, so it'll be dark enough.
Yep. So what are you shooting her, buddy?
Just being like, hey, you wanted to meet up, didn't you?
They do.
All right then. Where?
Hmm. Gentleman's choice.
I picked last time, so with the stick out tongue face.
There's like a squinty face followed by fair. And she'll distract while she's thinking about it, just being like, "Do you always pick super creepy abandoned houses?"
On occasion.
Your ideal setting is the sticky out face.
It's nice and quiet, and you can talk out in the open there with nobody bothering you.
And she'll eventually just drop an address.
Nods to himself. Katie.
Hmm.
You know those text messages I now have access to, right?
Yeah, it's one massive fucking text file. So it's literally like all of her messages kind of blob together.
Scrolling through, which one would I be able to find that's close enough to, well, that other friend of hers?
A friend.
The one that is after Becca.
Which numbers are you comparing them to?
Comparing to the one I called Yosefov, and just being going, I will actually, probably while I was waiting for it to get dark, after I lay around in the snow, I will come in and start scrolling through it, just analyzing. You know what I mean?
Looking to see if you recognize any of the numbers.
Numbers, names, you know what I mean? That type of thing.
A
It's
lot of it seems to
I'm
involve
cross-referencing that type of thing.
a lot of them involve like idle first names or nicknames.
Hmm.
Um None of the numbers have names attached to them. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
phone numbers.
that's fine.
Hmm. Trying to think. You do not find Yosef's number in there or Ant's.
Hmm.
Like in the big old list of messages. They either are people that she hasn't messaged at all or people that she hasn't messaged in long enough that she doesn't have a history for them.
That's fine. It's kind of like I'm just trying to cross-reference. I'm even seeing, does my name appear anywhere? It's that type of thing. It's essentially I'm checking the whole fucking thing,
No, you can do a
or
scan around. You won't find your name popping up.
the word lupine, because that's what she mentioned before.
Hmm. High or low, buddy?
We'll go high.
Because to be honest, like if you put it in the right program, you can just search the text. So, hi, yeah, you do find pings for the word lupine.
All right, I will go to those conversations.
All right, and most of them, like, there's idle mention of lupines with an overall air of like disgust, annoyance, or even fear. The few times they're mentioned, usually mention of them is involved with a process of someone being like, you don't want any of that. Trust me, you don't want any of that kind of attitude. It's a pretty decent high. It's not a 10, so you won't find anything super explicit, but you'll see mention among probably more than once, though not a lot. It's not something that shows up frequently in her messages. There's just one or two conversations where you see it come up as a topic and is regarded as kind of like, well, what do I do about this? And it's like, you don't touch it. You just don't. Just stay the fuck away.
Here's the question. With lupines, has anyone mentioned that they've been having problems with lupines? Running into them, that type of thing?
At least when it comes to the conversations with her, it looks like people will be like, well, what do you do about lupines? And she never seems to ask about the details. I mean, even in her case where she's like, look, I've run into lupines. The advice is the same all across the board. It's pretty much you don't want to engage with that. You are not nearly old enough or experienced enough. Just stay away from it.
Stares at that for the time as he takes a drag from a cigarette and just nods to himself, going, right. He'll nod. Then we'll begin to drive to the location, bringing a gun with him because, fuck it, suspicion is suspicion as always. That's a good thing to have in life.
I just kind of assume at this point that he always has either the shoddy under the back seat or something in the glove compartment.
Pretty much, yeah. It's probably both of this. It's probably both at this current time.
That's kind of how he do.
I would drive out. We'll drive to this location then.
All right, let's see if I have a nice picture on hand. I believe I do. Oh, I meant to do that in Pinterest. 1 second. That will work nicely. We will use this one. Let me just put that there. So you'll roll that towards the address. It's kind of out in a way. Like, it's not near a particular town. It's not like in a neighborhood. It's just kind of an off the beaten path property. Well outside of Natural Bridge. Just kind of off in the mountains. You go over from Blue Ridge to Appalachia, and on the mountain there, after a good bit, you will come to this lovely property.
He just starts walking, keeping his eye out, scanning.
Yep, it is. It was probably a lovely little house at some point, but now it is a dilapidated mess. This is exactly the kind of place that makes you remember why you volunteered to help Susie scout out old houses, because that thing looks like it could fall apart. But yeah. So what are you doing? How are you approaching? Are you scouting around? What are you doing?
I sit on the top of my car and I wait. She'll appear eventually. lighting a cigarette, you know what I mean? Taking a drag, waiting, sitting on the bonnet.
Give me an alertness check.
Oh, Jesus. That's 4.
That's a 10 too. You'll you'll catch you'll catch some motion by one of the windows as you're sitting there, just kind of eyeing around. Um, and like you see, I mean, it's fucking dark, but you can see that there's someone in there. And after a pause, it's kind of like the walk by, pause at the window, keeps moving, and then you will get a text that basically says, "Are you coming in?"
Just nods to himself and just puts the phone back in his pocket and just walks towards the door.
Yeah, it makes horrible screeching noises as you open the storm door. That thing has got rust and problems. You're pretty sure with you wouldn't even need to shift to pull this thing off the wall if you really wanted to. But yeah, you can just kind of let yourself in. It doesn't seem to be locked, doesn't seem to close very securely. Some of the windows have been shattered or at least cracked. Probably by hoodlums. You know, whatever adolescents are around the area, teenagers, the usual. And you head inside. You're almost immediately in like a small, equally dilapidated looking living room. It's funny, you might think, because you look inside like the place where you're staying, and yes, everything is much, much older, but the house has been more braced against the climate. It hasn't fallen apart, it hasn't disintegrated as much. So while at the Batcave, things are still in pretty decent repair comparatively. This place, like, there are things like, you know, oh look, a couch that you don't want to sit on. That looks just gross. Moisture has gotten into the house. You know, it's just. Ugh. But as you're faced with the inside of a very dark house, sure enough, leaning on one of the side kind of entrances, not there's no doors leading out of this room. It's kind of like an open doorway off to the one side into that kind of roundabout part, and then there's an open doorway back further into the house. And leaning against one of them is Renee.
Just looks over at her very casually.
Hey,
Hi.
how's your friend?
Settling in.
Not trying to call the cops anymore?
No.
Good.
What are you so nervous about?
Nervous?
Yeah.
Like you said, we
Seem
have
very
mutual goals. Doesn't do me any good if he
twitchy.
causes you problems.
I see. How's that? Smiles.
How's what? Seems pretty explanatory.
Hmm. I didn't realize you invested so much in me.
As you like to point out, we have a mutual goal.
We do.
Hardly be helping if I was setting you back.
Very true.
What was all that? Anyways, she's just kind of comfortably leaned against the door frame.
We'll light a cigarette. What was what?
All the fighting and... Pretty sure you dragged him outside. Didn't seem to be going well.
Takes a drag of the cigarette, a long one. Inhales it through his nostrils. Can't tell you that. After all, you have your vampire things.
The girl can't help but be curious. It's kind of
I
a,
know.
the playful shrug and equally kind of soft smile.
So you wanted to talk?
Yeah?
I just, does the half-minded shrug leaning against the doorway?
You just sounded irritated. Didn't want to push.
We lupines run hot.
You do. She finally kind of, stands up from the lean. Comes further into the room properly. Just wanted to be sure we were still on good terms.
Of course we are. If we weren't on good terms, I wouldn't be here. Would I?
No telling, really, with some people. Kind of grins faintly as she's continuing to wander closer.
He keeps his eye on her, not looking at her directly, but looking at, like, say, like her belly or her chest or something. You know what I mean?
He can certainly do that.
If we weren't on good terms, I wouldn't be the only one here. You can be assured of that.
The playful grin ticks up a tiny bit. Are you the only one here? Would I know?
Yes. You'd know before you die.
Well, that's not very nice.
Like I said, we're good. Nobody's here but me.
She just kind of shrugs acceptance and finally comes around like into arm's reach.
But you yourself seemed very, very demanding. Had me a concern.
Demanding.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a nice thing to call a girl.
Matter of fact, you were very, very... I don't know, just rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, what's a guy to think? You invite him over to a birthday party and start teasing him and all that? I mean, then, with our new buddy, he's been messaging you. Getting a picture off you. What's a guy to think? Again, smiles, very calm, very professional. Not looking her directly in the eye, though.
She's come around in front of him and is finally tentatively like reaching out to make contact. In this case, probably just like playing with his jacket. Just idly taking a hold of the one side and like slowly running the zipper up the one side. I assume it's just that open. So she's just running it up the zipper.
Mhm.
It's not doing anything. If I recall right, I got a picture of him, not him off me. I didn't ask for it. You had him all
Oh, no,
spooked.
I know, but a clever girl like you, well, I wouldn't be surprised if you did take advantage. I'd be shocked, really.
He wasn't as much fun as you are. She says it idly, still kind of playing with the zipper. She's not like seeking eye contact by any means, by the way. She's just well inside hand's reach, just fiddling with his jacket.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Hmm.
More interested in his phone than what was going on around him. He found me. I didn't go looking for him on Messenger. He looked up
It's
mine.
true. True. But then again, you know how these frat boys are.
Going for an Instagram.
Want the prettiest girl in the room in their photo.
It's funny, I tried that angle. He really wasn't looking for my picture.
Maybe he just wanted the idea that you were chasing him.
Oh, that's a shame. She kind of just pulls a playful little face, like, oh, well, bad luck for him, essentially. She keeps, like, fiddling with the zipper.
I guess so.
Seems to me like he was on being demanding.
Hmm.
Threw a monkey wrench in my whole night.
Well, that's a shame.
It's a shame. Far more fun things planned.
I bet you did.
Oh, I did.
Seemed like you wanted to talk business too.
Oh, I did.
Shame, really.
Crying shame. She finally leans in and, like, of all the stupid things, snags the zipper in her teeth. Gets up, all up in his personal space. She's already been pretty well inside the bubble, but gets fully in his personal space.
When she gets the zipper in his teeth, he just looks directly ahead of him, so he's not looking at her. You know, he's like, my. Do you know what I mean?
You avoid the eye contact, and man, she keeps it in her teeth, gives it a little, like, tug towards her, and the hands start, like, sliding around his waist.
Just keeps calm, straight ahead, like, okay. It's all part of the game, Anton. Just keep focused, man. You got
It's
this.
all part of the
That's
game.
basically what
Don't
he's
mind
telling
the
himself.
fingernails going up your back under your shirt. It's fine.
Yeah, he's just like, that's really nice. And I'm really, really, hmm. It's a shame. Then again, decisions were made.
There were. Thought it was the more humane thing to do than to point him off somewhere else.
You did seem so interested in gaining so much more out of me at the end, though.
Favors are never free.
Oh, I know, but I do feel very mistreated. Very.
Aw, do you? The nails rake back down his back. Like, they kind of traced up playfully. This time they bite in a little bit and just kind of not enough to actually do him any harm. Just, yep, that
Make him a
long
bit like,
scratch down the back.
Yep. Tingles down his spine is probably like his body responds. Anton's like, do you know what I mean?
Hate to leave you feeling mistreated.
Oh, well, this was all fun and games up until you started demanding what you wanted from me.
I thought it was the nature of the agreement we'd already made.
Oh, I thought we were just having fun, seeing where it took us. After all, I don't expect to be treated like a beck and call lapdog, do I?
I wasn't trying to treat you like a lapdog. I was trying to play a game. My other game got
Well,
ruined.
like I said, seems very one-sided suddenly.
I thought you'd figure it out quickly.
Maybe I'm just not entertained
Oh, now that's a
by
shame.
that. It is. I was going to enjoy myself, but then again, you seem more concerned about what you want rather than what we both want.
I thought you would have liked the game better.
What you say? You mumbled that way too low.
I mean, essentially, she is really close right now. Like she's within like right in the ear distance. So it's thought you would have liked the game better.
Closes his eyes because ooh, shivers. Opens them again. Oh, I do. But I don't appreciate being teased. Not to that extent. And I don't appreciate having things demanded of me when I've done nothing but provide. After all, I'm trying to help you. Seems like you just want from me.
Oh, don't pretend it's just for me.
Oh, I don't. But I keep you in mind. Like any good business partner would.
There's a bit of a smile. He's still, I imagine, not looking her straight in the face, right?
Nope. Nope.
No, but you can still see it. And yes, the fangs are remaining put away. You think of me often then?
I think of you when I need to make sure that things are taken care of in a certain way. After all, I'm sure you think of me every now and again. Or what you can get out of me, at least.
I do catch myself wondering about you now and again. You know, there's one hand on your back, the other one's starting to like slide under the fucking belt line of the pants. Off to the side. It's not going right for the gold, but it's a tease.
Yep. Eyes front, eyes forward, eyes front. Do you know what I mean? That pretty much like it's a good thing on Willpower 7, that move.
Yes. And she does lean in. Like, this is like, oh, hey, there's hands. That everything is pressed on me right now. And, you know, so she can mumble in his ear again. You're more interesting than most.
I see. But yet you treat me so poorly. I thought the ones that keep you very interested get treated very well.
You feel treated poorly right now? She'll nip his ear
Oh,
right at the earlobe.
you close his eyes because that is again, it's not like he's not responding body wise. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not now, no. But I get the impression when you want to, you just cast me off quite easily. I don't know. I don't have any guarantees.
I don't feel like you'd let me. That's part of
Oh,
what makes it fun.
how do you figure that?
I can't help but notice the possessive streak. Maybe it's a territorial streak. Is that a thing? Grinning still. The head's turned just enough that you can catch the grin.
I have my moments, but then again, I only reciprocate to those who reciprocate back.
I'm not seeing a
Smirking.
lot of reciprocation right now.
That's because I didn't get any off you. Must have bothered you that I came with another girl, right?
No.
Now, Katie, I'm gonna play a game. I'm gonna roll liar's face. Because Anton's about to do something ballsy.
Okay. Let me
What
put
do I
this
roll for
back up
liar's face
again.
again? Is it wit subterfuge? Or is it manip? I cannot remember.
take a quick look because I need to look at the effect anyways. Is it
Oh, I know what the
that's a
exact
ragged
rank
gift,
I
right?
have. Yeah, it is a Raggy gift, yes. Raggy level 1.
You make a truthful statement and you spend 1 willpower and you roll charisma
Mhm.
subterfuge div 7.
So I'll do that. And this truthful statement is, it's not like her and I are an item. 1. That's all I need. Jesus. Skin on my fucking teeth.
Well, you do successfully activate it. But the response might startle him as she kind of leans back in. Man, did you even have a personal bubble? I'm pretty sure the only thing keeping her this far away is your skin right now, pretty much. Then she kind of, the eyes roll thoughtfully and she sets her chin on her on your shoulder, or her cheek on your shoulder. The other hand kind of grazes its way around to the hip and also starts slowly working past the belt line, waistline of the pants. No, I suppose you're not. Not territorial enough.
How'd you know that? But then again, maybe I was waiting to see would you reciprocate the feeling, but I think you showed me what I need to know.
Lip rolls in, gets caught between her teeth briefly. I've seen you be more territorial even over me than that girl. Should I feel
See,
threatened? Am
I
I
don't know.
competing now?
I don't know, Renee. I don't know. After all, you asked me to show how much you matter. I showed you. But then again, I just get, I don't know. As nice as this is, it does leave me feeling quite unsettled. Because I'm going to roll persuasion now, Katie. I'm
I'm gonna start
going
rolling
to
her
roll to
goddamn
activate it.
awareness. That's 2 you fired
Okay,
off now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if she's catching on. Her perception is pretty reasonably high. 3. Yeah, she's a jumpy thing. I'll give her that. Actually, no. Well, no, I'm not even gonna feel bad. I'm just gonna do this. All right. So for the first one, I did feel it go off,
Oh boy.
and for the persuasion, let's see if she feels that go off. You do.
Yeah.
You know, last time we talked, you seemed very, very upset at me for doing what comes naturally to me. So why are you doing it now?
Doesn't look at her. Maybe I'm just checking to see if you're reciprocating. After all, can't help but check. But I got what I needed.
Turnabout's fair play.
I mean, you could do your mind thing. That's fine. But now I know what I need to know about you. So, territorial displays. Let's just say they'll be off for a while. Smirking.
That's not very nice.
Oh, I know. But then again, I've been showing my hand, whereas you've kept yours close to your chest. Hardly fair.
Showing your hand. You've sent me at least one snuff-worthy image. But you haven't given any more than I have. We've been talking.
I wasn't talking about that. Like I said, you saw what I did because I thought someone entered my territory.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm not even gonna feel bad about it. I don't even remember what I rolled for her last time. I want to say it was a good bit.
I'm about to do something naughty as well, Katie. I'm gonna roll that fucking charisma. What would I constitute as a roll to persuade her? It's like, go on, get territorial.
And you can primal urge that if you like. She said outright she was going to do something. And she doesn't move or do anything strange. She's still got fingers running like right around the hip line, right around under the belt. Just kind of playing with the skin. But how's Anton feeling, buddy?
Okay, how much successes wise did you get? Because I think
3. Enough to see a good
okay.
bit.
Primary emotion. There is. It's hard to say. Okay, top layer is that calm. Actually more. I wouldn't say calm. It's more excited, if you get me, because it's obviously a thrill. He gets off on this kind of shit. Second layer, there is of course anger because of all that's gone on. It's always there. You know what I mean? And to be honest, he is a bit angry that he has displayed territorial behavior and she doesn't. You know what I mean? And 4 is, and the third, I would say it's a healthy, they're both equal. Jealousy and apparition. Not apparition.
Apprehension.
Apprehension. Thank you. There you go.
All right, and you do feel you get the little tingles, but she doesn't seem to change anything. Nothing happens visibly. She doesn't even say anything as she's doing it. There's no weird commandy thing going on. You just kind of get the little chill.
Cracks his neck a bit.
She's still got the cheek on the shoulder. You want me to look harder at her? I'm very good at this game.
That is up to you. Her is not the specific target, but then again, the guy I caved in wasn't my specific target either. It's not about specifics, you see.
You seem to be performing well enough and safe enough. What more do you want out of me? I gave you a present.
Did you?
Would you have found him on your own?
Or are you too interested in playing a little game with me?
No, I couldn't play what I'd originally planned anymore. I was going to have you in on that one.
Like I said, just very telling. Smirking.
One of the hands finally slides, back out from under the waistline. Comes back up to start. She just kind of idly rests it on the other side of his neck, just kind of idly playing. Because, I mean, especially with him knowing what she is, the fucking nerves, especially around his neck and shoulders, are probably on end.
Yeah, she'll feel him tighten. She will actually feel him tighten.
Well, she just starts kind of idly. The cheek is over on his shoulder. It's not like she's nestled up right next to his neck. She's not pushing quite that hard on the line yet. But the fingers, so feather soft, barely touching, but just kind of playing around the base of his neck. I know about as much about you as you know about me. Forgive me for being curious.
It's no problem.
I wondered if you would know off the bat.
Like I said, it's no problem.
She finally pulls back and puts on a bit of a pout. Has like one hand kind of just hitched on the waist of his jeans, the other hand still up, resting on his shoulder right alongside the neck, so the fingers can kind of play around the base of it. Puts on a bit of a pout. I don't feel like you're being honest with me.
Gave you that idea.
You're tense. How all right is it?
It's perfectly fine. I would have reacted if it wasn't.
Oh, don't hiccup, internet. I saw that.
Yeah, that's what I say. I wouldn't have reacted if it wasn't.
I feel like you and I have better chemistry in person. Wouldn't you say so?
Possibly. He's taking out the packet of cigarette and putting it in his mouth and taking a drag because, goddammit, nicotine steady my nerves.
Are you lighting another cigarette with her like inches away from you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh I
Are
do it
you?
deliberately. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm a fuck with her.
Oh.
Two can play this game, Katie.
Because that is technically open flame with a lighter. That's a courage check, isn't it? Not a willpower check.
Yeah, courage. Yeah, it's courage. Courage.
Me. I'm not even gonna
I
feel
know
bad
what
about this
weakness
because
is
it's
for.
got all my vampires like that. Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
it's a fail though because it's only a fail. It's not a botch because like it wouldn't be high level. It'll be a low open flame, so it'll be diff 6.
It's still a fail. So what is it? Just you recoil?
She recoils. Yeah, if she botches, she'd a Rorschach.
Yeah. She does not Rostrek, thankfully. But I mean, she is very close to him, and yeah, she probably initially tries to bring up a hand to kind of make him lose interest in using the lighter, but I imagine he's pretty dead set on it. So since I've already rolled, once he does finally, shake her hand off and go to light the cigarette, she like it's unmistakable. This isn't something she can play off really. She kind of jerks back a bit. She pulls back from the lighter, and the hands slide off of him as she
Now,
slides back.
okay. This is where I get to have some fucking fun. Now, you take a drag from the cigarette, taking that long, sweet, sweet Newport nicotine into his lungs, takes the long drag, so smoke comes out of his nostril mouth like a fucking dragon. What's wrong, Renee? I thought you weren't afraid. After all, we're just testing to see how committed you are to things. You can play at that game. And I'm a roll. What do I need to roll, Katie, with that?
What are you trying to do?
Tease.
Hmm.
I'm not
Definitely
rolling.
charisma or manipulation,
Mm-hmm.
actually. You know what? Manipulation
Okay.
expression. You're trying to provoke a reaction.
Imagine charm is going to apply to this, right?
Absolutely.
Uh, three eighths.
You initially do it, and you're like, "What's wrong?" And I mean, the eye roll happens. She's trying to play it off like it wasn't a big deal, just like, "Yeah, huh." So she kind of rolls the eyes off, and of course, I mean, you. I'm assuming you tuck the lighter after you've lit your
Yeah, back
cigarette.
then. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It doesn't actually make a difference to her. So she gives a bit of an eye roll, but slides up a hand up over the shoulder, and it gradually as she slides in and to the point that she hitches all the way up to the elbow, leaning well in. And I mean, once it's just smoldering, yeah, she'll pluck it out of his lips, put it in hers, take a drag, put it back in his. And then French inhale. Out the mouth and
Just
up the
giggling.
nose, leaning up right next to him.
Yeah, he doesn't look at her at all.
I was gonna say,
Smirking.
oh, she is. It is that boring, straight on eye contact of you. It's essentially you've challenged my commission, my committedness to this. So it's just that blatant stare of like, am I committed yet? Essentially, as she does the whole thing, and yeah, it's she's looking right in his eyes, whether or not he looks back. He can feel it.
He could take that long drag. That's better.
Is it?
Yeah, for now. Even if it was just a minor thing.
Well, I shouldn't want you to feel mistreated. Is he still leaning up against a wall?
Yep, I haven't fucking moved, Katie.
That's okay. You didn't need personal space. It's fine. And the hands kind of the arm slips around. She doesn't get any further away, but the arm slides from around his shoulder to down the chest. The other hand comes up as well. And she's still looking him right in the eyes, whether or not he's looking back. And she says, "We're mistreated." And there, yeah, man, that familiar kind of yank on the belt, like, this is coming off now.
They have a saying about us that you mistreat us, and well, things happen in a very strange way.
Why should I want to mistreat you? After all, we have such a good thing going. There goes the zipper.
We do. But there is something I kind of do want to make clear to you.
You don't think you made it clear enough last time?
Oh, no. That was me putting a territory on you. Different thing. This is establishing rules.
Oh, you
Well, not
established them
rules.
pretty clearly last time around,
Oh,
if I
no.
recall
This is
correctly.
different. This is very different, Renee. Because, see, I don't know much about you. You don't know much about me, so I'm not gonna leave anything to imagination. I need you to know me after all.
To know you.
Well, it's always good business to know who you're dealing with. That way there ain't no mistake about nothing.
Like, dude, the tension is high. Like there's some high energy shit going on. Like she can feel the subtle threat.
It's more of actually a smirk on his face because this is again the shadow. He's starting to roll off his Shadow Lord instinct. So what he's going to do, Katie, I will spend a rage, and I'm assuming there's a wall opposite, like right opposite me.
I mean, you'd have to bowl her across the entire room and hope you didn't hit any furniture. It'd probably be easier to whip her into the one you're leaning against.
That's what I mean. I was trying to gauge the distance, so that's what I'll do. I'll whip her around. Just, you know what I mean? So fucking terrifyingly fast. No, I'm not doing anything like grabbing her throat or anything. You know what I mean? Again, it's the subtle hand on her shoulder. Again, it's not aggressive. It's not anything. You know what I mean? There's no aggressive motion in my body.
For what it's worth, I mean, mechanically, I'm not rolling, but she doesn't try to keep you from doing it. You've made the point, like you've given the hint that something was coming. She doesn't fight it at all. She lets you put her against the wall. She actually keeps comically solid grip on your now open pants um, throughout the whip around.
I don't like to be teased, even if, hell, one of my own that you're playing with. Whatever the situation was. I don't like to be teased that way. Because I'll put it this way. You're mine in terms of territory. If I see any cocksure person come at you that way, well, that's on you what happens next. Because I'll just do what comes naturally to me. I'm going to roll a manip leadership, Katie, if I can.
You making eye contact? She
No.
is.
Nope. Fuck it. You know what? Fuck it. All in, baby. I'll make fucking eye contact at last. Oh, I'll roll manip leadership.
Do
So
it.
it's leadership plus from natural leader. Persuasion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Anton, buddy.
Yeah.
The smile you're getting back is outright devilish. For a dead lady, her eyes are alive.
We clear? I will make eye contact because I'll know if she out of character. I'll know if she dominates me. You know what I mean? But Anton's like, fuck it. If you're gonna mind manage me, well, I'll just be a big old biggity werewolf. But right now, I'm making a fucking point. God damn it!
She just delicately reaches up, slides the hand up between you because, I mean, I imagine there's a lot of very close going on at the moment. Looming. She just delicately reaches up and takes your cigarette again. Says, Crystal. Takes another drag off of it. Goes to tuck it back in your lips.
Good. Back of his head, he's like, fuck, she's not. Fuck. He's like, fuck, okay. That worked out a lot more smoothly than I planned. Shit. So, you know where she lives.
Of course I do.
Very interesting.
Wouldn't be caught dead in there, though. Smiling.
I bet. I bet not. I do have a question for you, though, seeing as, well, it's more of a hypothetical one.
Oh, hypothetical questions are always exciting. Let's have it.
You wake up in the middle of you go to your car. You get in, and suddenly everything blacks out. You don't remember anything, but you wake up in a small shack, miles away. Now we're coming from the perspective of your world and what you know. You have no recollection of memory, but yet your car ends up there. And when you go on the video camera, another person drove you back. Your car, at least. In relation to vampires, what happened?
She tips her head thoughtfully. She's still, man, she's got a nasty case of the busy hands, man.
Consider this person your person that woke up, you yourself, as an informant for another side.
Mm. The only thing I can tell you for sure is it wasn't me.
I'm asking, if it was you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'm asking in terms of your expert opinion. What am I looking out for? What am I to watch?
In my expert opinion,
Mm-hmm.
someone. She's still, playing with his clothes, kind of punctuating what she says by either, lifting his shirt a bit, maybe trying to open his jacket a little further, maybe going for the pants again. But the hands are never idle, ever. Maybe someone wanted to know what she knew. Maybe someone wanted to get something out of her, wanted to put something in. But whatever it was, they didn't want her to remember.
And if that said person, after you'd done a specific thing, started vomiting blood?
The eyebrows. Let's see how well she plays this cool.
Beat me the fucking shit out of her.
To be fair, this is literally her Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
The eyebrows kind of lift a little bit, thoughtfully. I suppose that depends on what she did that make them puke up a bunch of blood.
What do you typically do? This is a question that I need answering. I know it's related to you, but this is important. That requires blood to come out.
Are you sure it's not just her systems failing? Are you sure it wasn't hers?
I want to eliminate all possibilities.
Couldn't say.
Really?
Really?
That's your honest opinion?
What exactly is the situation with this person?
She was an informant. I
Or
used
who?
your friend.
Oh. How did you make her vomit blood?
That's none of your concern. Let's just say we have our talents.
In my professional opinion, you'd want to be wary.
Why?
Well, if she doesn't know her mind, can you be sure it's all hers again?
I see.
One can do a lot of things with enough time forgotten.
I see. Very well. And the blood?
I can't say.
Well, let's just say that it's clean, whatever I did to her.
Hmm. Interesting.
Very. Now I've dented a hole in their organization. I now need access.
Hmm. I'm afraid that anything I could give you would do me as much harm as it did you good.
Really? And how's that?
Just like before, when you made a point of leaving signs that pointed away from me, that put her into a bad position on our side of things.
I'm
If I
not
gave
cared
you
about her
certain
position.
things,
I'm not cared about her bad position anymore. I want her dead. She crossed the line. And now she's getting war.
how did you manage that?
Manage what?
Crossing a line. Where was the line?
She crossed it.
That was a pout.
And she made a very, very, very poor error in judgment. So now she's going to get all of my wrath. And I'm going to burn her home to the ground.
She gets like a charming little display of goosebumps. Still, all in all, the tone you're getting from her is, excited. She doesn't look afraid.
So, whatever people you need to appease, and to make sure they're well appeased because, well, we have our agreement. But anyone who stands in my way,
You seem to be quite good at moving me out of your way. Kind of
I,
tips her head back a little, glance at the wall, grinning.
I told you. What are you?
Oh, that devilish grin comes back.
Well,
You want to hear it so much.
I thought you liked saying it.
And she just kind of grins. The hands slide back up. Coax him in, coax him down a bit. And after all, at this point, she's against the wall. Actually, no, it'll be one hand. One hand curls around the back of his waist to pull him in on that level, and one hand reaches up to kind of pull down his head so that she can talk directly into his ear.
Slowly, that's what happened. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's not rushing it. And thankfully she does bypass his neck, though she lets out a for the sake of simply doing so, lets out a breath that may not be quite as warm as you'd expect, but it's still the play of air over his neck when he's probably on edge just waiting for her to go for it. But she moves past it and brings his head down far enough so that she can murmur directly into his ear, pulling him in by the waistband. Yours.
Yep.
Nips his ear again.
I missed it. You kind of lagged out.
Oh, she
I don't
says
know what
yours, and then like goes for another ear nip.
He allows it. He leans up again. Good. So, you get a pass. Anyone else who gets in my way. Well,
I don't think you need to worry about anyone with any kind of personal autonomy getting in your way.
no. But it's setting a tone for you to understand.
Hmm.
I hope you do.
Oh, no, I understand.
Good. Now, because you understand, I'll let you have a drink.
One second. And yeah, I mean, she continues about the same kind of activity. She is about as awful as he's familiar with. So yeah, there is once again a hand in his pants. Still a hand up playing around his neck, teasing at the skin because I imagine he's got some pretty real goosebumps over it.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll eventually nuzzle in just to see if he reacts, see if he gets stiff, see what he
He
does.
stiffens. He stiffens. But then he spends rage because fuck it. Might as well go in this is ragey. So, yeah, that's what happens.
Oh yeah, she'll tap him for 2.
Yeah, after the kiss subsides and she licks the wound closed and he takes that time, he even feels tense. She can see it, he feels tense.
Even after he's done?
Yep. Oh, he feels great, but do you know what I mean? It leaves him unsettled.
I mean, if possible, she looks even more like Livewire after the fact than she did before.
Now, I believe you owe me a picture deleted.
There's a mild pout. And hilariously, Will finally climb off his waist. And go fishing her phone out of, well, pulls her pants back up, fishes her phone back out of her pocket. It's kind of the attitude of fine, fine, fine. And yeah, she goes to her Instagram account. Like, she'll let you watch the whole thing, keep you pulled right in. You know, goes to her Instagram account, goes to her direct messages, goes to her messages with Rupert, who has, I am sure, the most amazingly fucking preppy ass fucking profile picture. But yeah, goes to her DMs and scrolls up a bit and kind of pauses and squints at it. Frowns a bit. Backs out of the chat. Rolls up her image gallery. Hey Anton, remember all those selfies? Yeah. But yeah, goes to the image gallery. And I mean she doesn't even scroll looking for it. It should be right there at the top.
Anton is casually just very my look how casual I am. Pulling up his pads and getting ready to leave. So fucking casual, like no.
Oh, she's still got an arm hooked because you pointed out you wanted to see her do it. So after she's kind of flicked back and forth between them a few times, the lip kind of rolls thoughtfully into her teeth again. You know, catches the lower lip, closes the apps, turns the phone off, stuffs it back in her pocket, looks over at him.
Gives her a stare.
Did you do that?
Seems to be the problem. No, I can't hack.
Well, it's gone either way.
Interesting. He starts to walk by her, like brushing past her very slowly. Very interesting.
You brush past, and she, for the most part, lets you slink past her, but she snags the hand.
Turns casually. Doesn't look at her directly in the eyes, though. Oh no, Missy.
Answer me this honestly. She keeps a hold of the hand, and she's looking for his eyes.
She'll eventually catch them.
How many of the people in that picture know about me?
The ones that needed to know about you.
But I don't need to know about them.
You need to know that they're with me.
Are you getting a little quiet?
Oh. All you need to know is they're with me. And that you're not going to get any trouble off them. Why? And he'll spend the rage again, because fuck it, I'm blowing it out of my system. Force her back so her face hits the wall first. You know what I mean? It's that kind of primal push. sort of like front-wise hits the back of the wall where they were at. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, so he's pushing her, front first into the wall as opposed to back first.
Yeah, this time there is a bit of primal aggression because there is. You spend raid. This time there is, and he lets out that snarl of breath because they know now you're claimed by me.
Do they?
Your growls in her ear that, I mean, to the point where she might think he's going into that big form. Mine. So that's what you need to know. And keep that in your head. Because that's how I'm keeping you alive. He'll nip her ear and start to walk out.
She gets so much willpower back. Oh my god. Yep. She, again, I mean, she doesn't have nearly the physicals to really fight that, especially not rage assisted. She didn't see that coming. So no, she takes it. When he finally releases her to leave again, just pulls back, straightens herself out, launches after him.
Launches after me like, ah! No,
just watches.
Just walks very coldly and calmly out and smirking to himself, going, yeah, I got you, you fucking... Do you know what I mean? Grumbling as he's walking. You know who you're fucking texting. He's getting in the car driving away like, I know fucking everything. Oh my god, I know everything.
And she'll, you know what? She'll let you go off on that. Learning experience. We'll see how well that holds true. And so she'll have a few thoughts of her own, interesting ones. And eventually, just to fuck with him, having a rough idea that he lives in town somewhere. He must not be out in the middle of nowhere. So she waits until he's most the way home. Sends him a fucking, like, hella lewd picture, like, fingers in her mouth and everything. Just to see if she can get him careening off the road, essentially. And, with that is done playing with him for the night.
Put you on it there, Katie.
Yes, I do.